Hello, this is Dragon 1400, and this is a character discussion on Dil Pickles from All Grown Up. So, Dil is a great side character, and what I mean by that is he's funny, and a lot of the episodes he appears, but doesn't get character growth or his character develop. He's just funny, kind of like Phil is. He's funny and all as a side character. In my opinion, Dil and Phil are two of the funniest characters in All Grown Up. However, his episodes for me were some of the worst episodes of the series. Some of my least favorite episodes were the ones that starred Dil. Now, there's a few exceptions in here of episodes that I thought were great. I don't know what it was. It didn't click right with me per se. Anyway, so let's get started. In season 1, we have Teenage Tycoons, which it was a pretty bad episode if I remember right. I personally, I don't think I'll ever watch the episode again, but anyway, it did show Dil's strange, how he was weird, how he was strange and everything. And it did showcase it was the first episode, if I recall right, that showed his relationship with his brother Tommy, and how Dil really cared for Tommy and really wanted to help him out and get his favor, if you will. And Tommy was actually really concerned with Dil, and they had a really good moment at the end. So the next episode in season 1, Thief Encounter, kind of similar deal. Both Tommy and Dil were thought the other one was stealing stuff. It was really Tommy, but he was sleepwalking. However, Tommy thought Dil did it, and they both showcased they care about each other as brothers. Again, second episode, they could probably have removed Teenage Cartoons for this one. This one was better overall. However, two episodes, similar plot, similar story, just done differently. The next one is Brother, Can You Spare the Time? This episode, Dil thought he was in Tommy's shadow or whatever, that Tommy was going to forget about him because he won some film award, and it just got carried away that they were on a game, not a game show, a talk show or whatever. And it was, I don't know, this episode wasn't again, Dil's episodes tend not to be that good for me. I just don't like them that much. Now, the other episode was Tommy Foolery. This one was a little better. It just, same thing. Tommy really showed that he did care about his brother, but he was pranking him and everything. And it was about aliens. And apparently, in the All Grown Up / Rugrats universe, aliens are confirmed because of this episode. They weren't on screen, but they are pretty much confirmed at this point. And it really solidified Dil's weirdness, and it showed that he has some interest in aliens or whatever. Other than that, this episode didn't do that much. Now let's get on to season 2, Fools Rush In. Another really bad episode, in which case Tommy's just being embarrassed by this one girl who hates him because Tommy didn't want her to be in a row of something that was filming or whatever. And Dil was kind of just embarrassing him, and Tommy was getting embarrassed, and yeah. That's really all I can say about this episode. Dil was trying to save his brother, but in doing so, he was actually embarrassing him. So it was kind of, Dil was messing up, but he thought he was doing good, if you will. Now, is he or isn't he is, well, I'll tell you what my least favorite episode is at the series finale, but this is definitely one of the candidates for it. Now, I do give the episode credit as it focused on not Dil and Tommy like all these other episodes did in the past. We're talking 1, 2, 3, 4. We're talking 5 episodes that had Dil as the main plot, where Dil was in a main role, and it focused on Dil's relationship with his brother Tommy in just 2 seasons. So I do give him props for trying to shift it to Dil and Chucky's friendship, if you will. However, this episode was not the way, and I don't really want to talk any more bad about this episode. I had the review. I already did the review for the episode, and my thoughts on that. I mean, it just really shows Dil's strangeness, and like that he does care about his friend Chucky. So that is basically it. Dil's strange. We didn't already know that, apparently. Anyway, so moving on to season 3. It's Karma Due. Now, this was a good episode, and it focused on Dil helping Angelica, along with Chucky, Phil, and Lil. And basically, the whole plot of this episode is that Angelica doesn't tell Susie about this singing competition, and basically she's convinced by Dil that her zit is from karma. So the whole like side plot of Chucky, Phil, and Lil, I think it was just Dil just telling them about karma. In the whole Angelica plot, like Dil was actually doing good deeds with Angelica, and it was interesting because Dil was really like succeeding and everything, and Angelica was not, because she was doing the good deeds like for the wrong reasons, if you will, whereas Dil was doing the good deeds for the right reasons, because he actually wanted to help people, which is important for his character. He generally does want to help, like Tommy, Chucky, and like even Angelica. He wants to help out. He's generally a good person overall, as you kind of see throughout these episodes here and there. So, on to season 4, not much. Oh, brother, where art thou? Now, this episode focused on Dil and Tommy's brotherly relationship, which it's been a whole season since we saw that. So that I'm fine with that now, but like 5 and like 2 seasons, 4 and 1, that was ridiculous. But here it's good, and this is like actually, in my opinion, let me just look at season 5 really fast. Yeah, in my opinion, this is the best Tommy and Dil episode of all of them. Of course, in my opinion. So, oh brother, where art thou? It just evolves around Dil being interested in staying with like his circus family, and Tommy kind of at first being basically he was getting annoyed with Dil and his behavior. So this caused kind of a rift between like Tommy and Dil, and basically Dil was going to stay with his like circus family, which made Tommy actually mad at Dil for even considering it, because he would miss his brother. Now what ends up happening is the family, his still circus family, starts to copy him, and Dil himself finds it annoying, and Dil starts to realize, oh, what he does actually may be annoying to some people. So he kind of sees himself how others see him, which is like probably one of the best things they did with Dil's character throughout the entire series, like from a character growth standpoint, character development standpoint. So it was really good to see like Dil's self-reflection, and at the end, of course, because this is a very episodic series, of course, Tommy and Dil make up, and Dil chooses not to live with the circus family. So everything turned out good in the end, and it really like caused growth for Dil's character, as he was more aware how others see him and how he could be annoying to others. Though he still doesn't like care what others think of him, he's now more aware of it. So if someone he cares about, like Tommy, is annoyed with it, he might change his behavior a little bit for Tommy's sake. But if someone he doesn't know, he's just gonna act the way he is, just because he doesn't care what others think about him. But there's a distinction between changing your behavior for someone you care about for their sake, and changing your behavior for like the masses, if you will. There's a distinction there, and I think Dil kind of learns this lesson in this episode. So kind of the last few episodes that he kind of stars in season 5, the first one is All Broke Up, which Dil has a side plot here dealing with Charlotte, that's Angelica's mom. And Charlotte wants to market Dil's game Impatience, I believe. Yeah, Impatience is what it's called. And Dil really doesn't want to do it. He does it because he loses a game of I don't. It's not racquetball, but it's like you bounce a ball back and forth. I can't. I don't know what that game is called. However, that being aside, Dil does sign the contract, but he ends up having a safety, a kind of way out, if you will, and it shows kind of Dil's craftiness and everything, and how he doesn't want to just sell out for the masses. It also shows like Dil's like really inventiveness and cleverness, because he sees the world differently, if you will, than everyone else. So he can create things that are different and unique, and some of them might be really enjoyable to others. Another episode that kind of showcased Dil's skills is the final one of the whole series, and that's Golden Boy. Really showcases Dil's skills over Tommy, which is Tommy. We kind of saw like his skills throughout the series. In this episode, it was like I said in Tommy's character discussion, it was good to see that Dil overshadowed him. And from Dil's standpoint, again, it's good to see that Dil overshadowing Tommy in this episode. I thought that was really good. Just like a final episode on Dil and Tommy's brotherly relationship, and they were competing for their grandpa's love. Even their grandpa loved them equally. So it was just a really good episode, and maybe not the best way to end the whole series, but a good way to end the series. Now, as I said, I like Dil's character. He's a great side character. He's a funny character. And that most of these episodes, especially towards the beginning of the series, I did not like the episodes that starred Dil. They just didn't get his character quite right until like kind of season 3, if you will. I mean, season 1 and 2, not so much. However, like they really hit the nail on the head with "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" That was a great episode. I thought Golden Boy was a good episode, and you know, some of those later episodes that starred Dil or him as a side plot, great. I have to mention one of my favorite scenes that involved Phil and Dil in Dude, Where's My Horse, where they're playing cards, and then they're just like it was just such a funny scene. I don't even want to try to recreate it because I'm not going to give it any justice at all. It was just a great scene, and like I said in my Phil character discussion, and I think I just mentioned in Dude, Where's My Horse, the first time I watched that scene, I was on the floor laughing. That was just one of the funniest scenes for me. After that, it did lose its luster, if you will. However, I still enjoy that scene. Dil is an all-around funny character. Him being a side character is kind of where he's supposed to be, though I do like him being at the forefront so much. I do wish they wouldn't have focused so much on Tommy and Dil's brotherly relationship so early on. They should have spread it out. Season 1 had 4 episodes. You should have just put 1, maybe 2. 1 would have been ideal, though. And if I had to choose one of them, it probably would have been Thief Encounter was probably the best one. Anyway, so leading on to like where I think Dil will end up. In like Teenage Tycoons, as much as I didn't like it, he showcased that he can be an inventor. He sees the world differently, and sometimes that's really appealing to other people, as shown in that episode. He also in All Broke Up, he vented impatience before, but this episode really focused on his game Impatience. So I see Dil as kind of an inventor, an idea person. However, he doesn't like the business world, so he might not like. I don't see him making a ton of money off of his inventions. I think I don't think he's gonna ever sell out. I think he'll make money here and there with his inventions, but he's not gonna sell out to the masses unless like someone like Angelica or someone that's like Charlotte like kind of tricks him, if you will. But of course, Dil has played that game before and knows how to trick the the CEOs, the business type people. So overall, that's kind of where I see Dil like in the future. Who he ends up with, I don't think the character was ever introduced, in my opinion. Anyway, listen, like, put in your comments below kind of what you thought about Dil's character and kind of maybe where you want him to end up, or where you think he should end up. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Bye.